evening, everybody, and welcome to the November the 12th, 2019 Board of Mayor and Alderman meeting. Tonight, we will begin with an invocation, and we have a special invited guest, Dr. Vanna Wilson from the Franklin First United Methodist Church, who will give the invocation. And following that, tonight, we're honored to have Scout Troop number 15, led by Eric Strickland, who will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. So if we'll all stand and
Holy God, we just pause from the day to give you thanks, to thank you for the blessing of this day, and to thank you for the privilege it is to be able to come into this room and to do the business of the city, to hear the things that are on the minds of our people. And especially tonight, we lift up our mayor and the aldermen that will be sworn in tonight. We thank you for the freedom of election. We thank you for the gift of their service, and we would pray very boldly and humbly that you would provide wisdom for this board, that you would guide them in everything that we need in this community, that you would give them discernment and sharpen their minds, that you would bring us to agreement where we need agreement, and that you would always help us to have healthy and respectful debate where that is needed. We are mindful of the fact that we need divine guidance and help to make this the very best place in the world, that our children can be raised, that our families can be present, that everyone can find peace and friendship and well-being. So we would ask, Lord, that you would provide that for us. We thank you for your faithfulness and for your presence here. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Come forward, Troop 15.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Scouts. And thank you, Dr. Vanna Wilson, for being here. So, next is an opportunity for citizen comments for items that are not on the agenda. I have no speaker cards in that regard tonight, and seeing nobody come forward, we'll move on to communications. And I do notice tonight that we're honored to have Representative Brandon Ogles here. We appreciate him being here, and wave at us, Brandon, so people know who you are. So thanks for being here. And next we'll go to approval of the minutes from September the 24th, 2019 special meeting, October the 8th, 2019 work session, October the 8th, 2019 special meeting, October the 8th, 2019 Board of Mayor and Aldermen. Is there a motion?
Move for approval.
Second.
Seconded by the Vice Mayor. Any discussion? Seeing none, ready to vote? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously. Item number 2, acknowledge receipt of the Williamson County Election Commission Report 2019 City of Franklin Municipal Election. Mr. Stuckey.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, Board of Mayor and Aldermen. I am going to read the results that have been provided to us by the Williamson County Election Commission that certifies the election results of the City of Franklin municipal election, which was conducted Tuesday, October 22nd, 2019. And it fully canvasses and provides the returns that they are true, correct, and complete accounting of the results by precinct. And the county of said election has established this canvassing effective the 7th day of November 2019. So in the municipal elections, for the office of mayor, Ken Moore received 3,389 votes. For the alderman at-large position A, Clyde Barnhill received 2,183 votes. Howard Garrett received 1,429 votes. For the position of Alderman at Large, position B, Brandy Blanton received 2,239 votes. Michelle Sutton received 1,407 votes. For the Alderman at Large, position C, Pearl Bransford received 2,944 votes. Bhuvani Muvala received 629 votes. And for the position of Alderman at Large, position D, Ann Peterson received 3,280 votes. Those are your results for the position of mayor and at-large alderman.
Is there any action required, Mr. Stuckey?
There's not. You just received those results, and those will be read into the record.
So we're ready to be sworn in now? Is that the next step?
We have Judge Tina Hood with us.
Good evening. How are
And
you?
my wife Linda. And my father's Bible.
All right. Well, let me get this here. Okay, you want to hold the Bible for him? Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Dr. Ken Moore,
I, Dr. Ken Moore,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will discharge truly,
that I will discharge truly,
faithfully,
faithfully,
civilly, and impartially,
civilly, and impartially,
without prejudice or favor,
without prejudice or favor,
all the duties of alderman
all the duties of alderman
to which I have been elected.
and all to which I have been elected.
I will abide by all federal,
I will abide by all federal,
state, and local laws
state, and local laws,
and serve the citizens of Franklin
and serve the citizens of Franklin
to the best of my skills and
to
abilities.
the best of my skills and ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You got to sign, sorry.
Did you leave the family Bible, Mayor? Linda's got it, but she'll bring it back to you. All right.
I'm doing well.
Good.
How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Who do you want to hold your Bible for you?
Grandson, hold the Bible.
All right. Sounds great. So please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Clyde Barnhill,
I, Clyde Barnhill,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will discharge truly,
that I will discharge truly,
faithfully,
faithfully,
civilly,
civilly,
and impartially,
and impartially,
without prejudice or favor,
without prejudice or favor,
all the duties of alderman
all the duties of alderman
to which I have been elected.
to which I have been elected.
And I will abide by all federal,
I will abide by all federal,
state, and local laws
state, and local laws,
and serve the citizens of Franklin
and serve the citizens of Franklin
to the best of my skills and
to
abilities.
the best of my skills and abilities.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
We'll just hold on to this. That's right. This is the ceremonial Bible. It's taking on new meaning.
I hope your daddy will approve of us.
Yeah.
I got a crowd. I'm missing
All
four.
right, come on. Bring them all.
Yeah. Y'all need to- I'm missing 4 of my other part of my family.
All right. So who do you want to have your,
My husband.
all right. Left hand on the Bible, raise your right hand. All right. I, Brandy Blanton,
I, Brandy Blanton,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm.
that
I
I
thought it was a
will,
multiple choice, I'm sorry.
that I will discharge truly,
That I will discharge truly,
faithfully,
faithfully,
civilly,
civilly,
and impartially,
and impartially,
without prejudice or favor,
without prejudice or favor,
all the duties of alderman
all the duties of alderman
to which I have been elected.
to which I have been elected.
I will abide by all federal,
I will abide by all federal,
state, and local laws
state, and local laws,
and serve the citizens of Franklin
and serve the citizens of Franklin
to the best of my skills and abilities.
to the best of my skills and abilities.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. Just see- With you? All right.
She didn't know I was gonna call her up, but since this lady has worked so hard for me over the years.
Do you want to hold her Bible for you? Left hand on the Bible, raise your right hand. There you go. I do this all the time. Raise your other right hand. It's fine. All right. Please repeat after me. I, Pearl Bransford,
I, Pearl Bradford,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will discharge truly,
that I will discharge truly,
faithfully,
faithfully,
civilly,
civilly,
and impartially,
and impartially,
without prejudice or favor,
without prejudice or favor,
all the duties of alderman
all the duties of alderman
to which I have been elected.
to which I have been elected.
I will abide by all federal,
I will abide by all federal,
state, and local laws
state, and local laws,
and serve the citizens of Franklin
and serve the citizens of Franklin
to the best of my skills and abilities.
to the best of my skills and abilities.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yay! Just in the nick of time, Jim walks in.
Hello, how are you? Please do so. Left hand on the Bible. There you go, right here. All right. I, Ann Peterson,
I, Ann Peterson,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will discharge truly,
that I will discharge truly,
faithfully,
faithfully,
civilly,
civilly,
and impartially,
and impartially,
without prejudice or favor,
without prejudice or favor,
all the duties of alderman
all the duties of alderman
to which I have been elected.
to which I have been elected.
I will abide by all federal,
I will abide by all federal,
state, and local laws
state, and local laws,
and serve the citizens of Franklin
and serve the citizens of Franklin
to the best of my skills and abilities.
to the best of my skills and ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Miss Ann.
While they're finishing that, if I can just address the board and say to you that I want you to know what an honor it is for me whenever you ask me to come and swear you in. I watch you on TV, I follow you and follow what you do, and this really is I love the job as a judge of Franklin City Court, and I consider this one of the perks of coming here tonight and doing this for you. Thank you.
Thank you,
Dean.
Judge. I was carefully looking at my agenda to see where my 20-minute speech came in. But I'm not going to have a 20-minute speech because we got a lot of work to do. But I do want to offer my congratulations to all the aldermen at large we just sworn in, and look forward to working with them for the next 4 years. So the next item on the agenda is the opportunity to elect the vice mayor. So I would entertain a motion or a nomination.
Make a motion to Dana McClendon to be vice mayor.
Appropriate motion.
Second.
Seconded. Any other nominations? Ready to vote? All in favor of Dana McClendon to be vice mayor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
I'm not taking any more oaths.
So, before Dana switches seats with Vice Mayor
I'm going there.
Barnhill, I think it'd be appropriate for me to thank Vice Mayor Barnhill for filling in when I was unavailable. He's been very dependable, and I certainly appreciate that and appreciate the work that you've done this past year, and we'll look forward to the example that you've set for Alderman McClendon. And I appreciate that
It will be tough for him to follow.
and I appreciate that I didn't have to break a tie for vice mayor again.
Yeah.
Okay, next is mayor's appointment to the Board of Aldermen committees. I plan on leaving all committee appointments and assignments the same as they've been in this past year. So there's no vote required on that. We'll move on now to the appointment of the Beer Board of Franklin, and I intend to continue to have the same appointments from the Board of Mayor and Aldermen to that, so I do need a vote to approve that appointment.
Move for approval.
Appropriate motion, is there a
Second.
second? Seconded by Alderman Blanton. Any discussion? Ready to vote? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously. Next is consideration of reappointment of Michael Orr and Roger Lindsay to the Franklin Municipal Planning Commission.
Second.
Appropriate motion, seconded by Alderman Blanton. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously. Item number 8, consideration of mayor's reappointment of Jimmy Franks to the Franklin Municipal Planning Commission as his appointee.
Move for approval.
There is no vote required apparently, so sorry about that.
Consideration.
So next is, but we can take a vote if you like.
Sure, all in favor?
There was a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Great. Opposed? Passes unanimously. Item 9 is the reappointment of Gillian Fishbach to the Board of Zoning Appeals. This does require a vote.
So move.
Second.
Seconded by Alderman Peterson. Any discussion? Ready to vote? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously. Item 10, reappointment of Tim Stillings, Clay Perry, and Rich Buckner to the Civil War Historical Commission.
Move for approval. Second.
Seconded by Alderman Berger. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously. Item number 11, consideration of mayor's nomination of the following to the Franklin Transit Authority appointments. Chuck Barber, replacing Brian Beathard. Julian Bibb, replacing Dale Thomas. Jill Bergen, replacing Hayes Waltrip. Ashley Roberts, replacing Ramon Cisneros.
Move for approval.
Was there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Alderman Bransford. Too many Bs.
That's right.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously. Item number 12, acknowledge receipt of the Williamson County Election Commission report, the 2019 special referendum election, annexation election for the annexation of several properties located south of Long Lane, east of Interstate 65, and outside of the southeastern part of the Franklin urban growth boundary by the city of Franklin, Tennessee.
Mr. Mayor and Alderman, let me just read those results for the record, just as we did with the Mayor and Alderman results. This is for the annexation of 26 properties. There were 21 eligible voters, 19 voters participated, all 19 voted for annexation into the city of Franklin.
Any action required?
No action required, just your.
Any
receiving
questions about it?
into the
We'll move
record.
on to the consent agenda, and all items on the consent agenda are deemed to be non-controversial and routine in nature by the governing body, and tonight we're considering items number 30 through 45. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Seconded by Alderman Blanton. Any discussion? Ready to vote? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously. Item number 14, consideration of resolution 2019-41, a resolution to annex several property located east and west of Lewisburg Pike and north and south of the intersection at Stream Valley Boulevard, consisting of 318.49 acres in the Southbrook PUD subdivision adjoining the city limits within the southern part of the Franklin urban growth boundary. The applicant has asked for this to be withdrawn.
Move for approval.
Second.
For withdrawal.
Second.
Seconded by Alderman Bransford. Any discussion? Ready to vote? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously. Item number 15, this is a public hearing, consideration of ordinance 2019-13, an ordinance to zone 318.49 acres specific developmental residential district, Hillside Overlay District, Goose Creek Character Area Overlay, and Macklemore Character Area Overlay District, either conventional or traditional standards for several properties located east and west of Lewisburg Pike and north and south of the intersection at Stream Valley Boulevard. Does anyone want to speak to this body? Seeing none, I declare the public hearing closed. The applicants ask this to be withdrawn.
Move for approval.
Second.
Seconded by Alderman Bransford. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously. Item number 16, this is a public hearing, consideration of resolution 2019-40 as amended, a resolution approving a development plan for Southbrook PUD subdivision for several properties located east and west of Lewisburg Pike, north and south of the intersection at Stream Valley Boulevard. Does anyone want to speak to this body? Seeing none, I declare the public hearing closed. The applicant has asked this to be withdrawn.
Move for approval for withdrawal.
Yes, thank you.
Second.
Seconded by Alderman Peterson. Any discussion? Ready to vote? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously. Item 17, this is consideration of City of Franklin Contract 2019-0172, Parkland Impact Fee and Trail System Construction Agreement between the City of Franklin and Southbrook LLC. The applicants asked for this to be removed.
Move for approval.
For withdrawal.
Move
Move for withdrawal.
Move for withdrawal.
Yeah.
Second?
Second.
Seconded by Alderman Barnhill. Any discussion? Ready to vote? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously. Item number 18, consideration of road impact fee offset agreement for the Southbrook PUD subdivision with Southbrook LLC. The applicants asked this to be withdrawn.
Move for approval for withdrawal.
Appropriate
Second.
motion, seconded by Alderman Barnhill. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously. Item number 19, this is a public hearing, consideration of ordinance 2019-37, an ordinance to adopt a new zoning ordinance and map of the City of Franklin, Tennessee.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. You have before you tonight the zoning ordinance update. It's been a very thorough 2-year process for us. We have Brian Wright and Bill Wright here with us with TPUDC, and I'd like to turn it over to him to kick off the presentation.
All right, thank you so much. It's good to be back. So I want to run through a presentation quickly and just get you all up to speed, but hopefully we've done a good job throughout the process, communicating all the things that you're going to hear tonight. So most importantly, I just can't say enough. The staff here is remarkable. We work all over the country, and not all staff groups that we work with are the same. And this is one that we really are just providing support. But, you know, again, because we get to work all over the country, this isn't our first time to do this, and, you know, a lot of thought has gone into this, national best practices, but most importantly, local best practices based on what we've heard from the community through the process. So we want to make sure that we're really focused on, you know, Envision Franklin and how it is, you know, is establishing the vision for the future, and that we're building off of that. In Envision Franklin, you know, there are several design concepts that are represented. There's regional commerce, looking at neighborhood commercial areas as well that are a bit more pedestrian friendly. Residential design concepts of all sorts of sizes, lot sizes, you know, big and small, multifamily, single family, on and on. And then also development reserve areas where you'll, you know, see a lot of that rural character that we've talked about. And the real point of this ordinance is to take those ideas and the goals and the vision from Envision Franklin and codify that so that there isn't so much discussion in the future about, well, does this meet up with Envision Franklin and all? It's like now the rules and regulations meet up with Envision Franklin, and so it'll allow that vision to be implemented moving forward. So for those in the crowd who don't deal with zoning all the time, and I know you all know what zoning is, but just, it needs to be said every time that it's, what the city uses to group land into different uses and zones, and a little bit different approach here. Instead of just focusing on those use zones, we look at character as well. And most importantly, that zoning doesn't cause anything to happen. Things that are already here will be grandfathered. So what we're talking about is future development, either infill, retrofit, or, land that's available for development going into the future. We heard a lot from the community as to the need for this, why we need to update the zoning ordinance. It's got some date on it at this point, as most zoning ordinances do. But most importantly, we heard about the amount of subjectivity in the process. We heard that the development review process is complicated, that the document is not user-friendly. There are too many PUDs and modifications of standards. There are lots of nonconformities that have been created over the years, and then traffic issues that have been created because of the conventional suburban development pattern that has happened for many, many years, that makes everybody need to get in their car for nearly everything except for within a few places like downtown or some of the newer neighborhoods that are thinking about walkability. But for the most part, the rest of the city, you're required to to drive everywhere you want to go. So the updated zoning ordinance, most importantly, will, as I said, align with Envision Franklin, and it focuses on and emphasizes that community character, because we know that over the years, focusing on separating one use from the next, which most cities did around the country, ended up making most cities look like every other city. And if I heard one thing from the community, I heard it once, I heard it a million times, was we want this place to be special, to build on what we love about it, to build on the history, and we want to also move forward doing things that are unique and special, like Franklin always is, one step ahead, or maybe even 2 or 3 steps ahead of everybody else around. They want it to organize the document so it's easier to use, and then the new ordinance will protect the most beloved parts of the city in the ways that you have already in the past, but continuing on with some further protections. Enhancing areas that need improvement. One of the things in our public process the community talked about was where would we like to see some things tweaked to get better. So we do that. And the new ordinance will also start to achieve the desired zoning districts and development standards in a very straightforward way for projects that you don't need to come in and ask for a bunch of modification standards. It's like you've got zoning districts now that meet up with that project because it's straightforward and it is in keeping with Envision Franklin. They also will reduce the number of conflicts and overlapping provisions. Right now, it's just, the old ordinance was just a hodgepodge of things, as they are over the years. They get added onto and tweaked and changed. But and then having more predictable outcomes. We hear in every city we work in, but also in Franklin, that because people don't know quite what to expect, because the old zoning ordinance in the process didn't yield consistent results necessarily. They were good. I'm not saying that things were horrible, but people didn't know what to expect, which makes people afraid. They don't know if I'm going to like what's going to happen next or not. Do I need to go to every planning commission hearing, every BOMA meeting and watch out, or is the zoning ordinance going to protect me? And so that's something that this will do as well. And then really focusing on, it's not just all the sort of the buzzwords, the planning jargon, the touchy-feely stuff we hear about, all the walkable and all that, which is great and is important. But it's more than just doing that for that sake. It is doing it to enhance the long-term economic viability of the city, because things, just continuing on in a more suburban model is going out of favor around the country. And so what you see is real estate ads that look like this, living life to the max, and car headlights zooming through and whatever. And you probably, if you spend a minute thinking about this, you might say, oh, it looks like you've got a traffic problem to me. But people like that exciting kind of life now. We have people who are running multi-billion-dollar companies off their front porch, sitting in their pajamas drinking wine before noon. And then this is what people like to work these days. They like to, work in these big, wide open spaces, and, they like to hear the hustle and bustle and all of that. This is how people like to live, You think it was just a college dorm? No, these are, working professionals who are, maybe not too far out of college, but, it's different. But because these things have changed, and mind you, I don't mean everybody, right? There's still a place for all the things that Franklin's been doing since, kind of after World War II, all the suburban stuff. We have tons of that. So we'll always be able to be, meeting that market demand. But when you look at images like this, and you see that a building like this could be in any city, we probably have one like this somewhere, that's not where the market is these days. And so making sure that we're providing the opportunity for places like this to happen easily without having people jump through a million hoops so we can stay competitive economically into the future becomes important. And so the zoning ordinance becomes an economic development tool as much as it is a quality of life protector and all of those things. So let Kelly jump back in and maybe run you through a little bit of the specifics of the ordinance.
Thank you, Brian. We established goals early on in this process to align more with Envision Franklin, to emphasize community character, to be clear, simple, and understandable, to organize the document for easier use, and to reduce the number of conflicts and overlapping provisions. And we achieved those goals through the changes throughout this drafting process to better align the zoning districts with Envision Franklin, to reduce the number of overlay districts by 50, and adding one scenic corridor overlay district that's a compilation of our current ordinance and Envision Franklin recommendations, refine the building and site design standards, and to make improvements to the usability of the ordinance. On this slide, you can see the old framework on the left and the new framework on the right. While the new framework looks a lot longer, the development standards chapter in our current ordinance is 168 pages and very dense. It's hard to find information in there. And so the new format makes it much easier to find what you're looking for so that you can go right to the fence standards if you need to, or right to the open space standards. These are the overlay districts. The old are on the left and the new are on the right. We were able to reduce those greatly by putting a lot of those standards into the base zoning districts and the new scenic corridor overlay district. You used to have to go to all these different places to find out what the dimensional standards are for your zoning district, and that's been replaced by a simple 2-page, for the most part, district that shows all of your requirements for that particular district, and then links to all the additional standards for development standards throughout the document. And all of it's hyperlinked, and there's an interactive table of contents on the left side, and it's web-enabled. So we really work towards more user-friendliness. We released the ordinance in May and have taken public comments since then. Throughout the process, we've had 8 Planapalooza input meetings with 336 attendees, and that's unique participants. Many of those participated in more than one of those meetings. There were 6 outreach presentations reaching 625 people. There were 2 days of drop-in hours at the planning department, and we had about 40 citizens come in for those. 7 joint BOMA and Planning Commission workshops where we discussed issues and items in the zoning ordinance update. 24,361 postcards were mailed to every property owner in the city, notifying them that there was a comprehensive zoning ordinance update and map change in the city. There were thousands of people who in turn visited our website and clicked on our Zone Franklin webpage and downloaded the ordinance and the maps associated with it. And we had 420 staff meetings talking about the technical aspects of the zoning ordinance update over the last 2 years. The majority of the comments were positive. Thanks for your work. It simplifies the process. We can tell a lot of thought and effort went into the ordinance. An excellent job organizing the new ordinance, and expect Franklin will continue to set the standard for Middle Tennessee. We had a small number of items that brought up more significant public input, and we discussed those earlier at the work session, so we won't go into those right now. But I will turn it back over to Brian to wrap up.
All right. So we are coming close to the finish line, and as you saw in the 2 slides ago in that infographic, it's been a long time coming. A lot of thought, effort, hours of work has gone into this, making this what will hopefully be a model ordinance for the state. I think that there's going to be a lot of lessons for people to learn from looking at this document. So we've just cleared the Planning Commission hearing on the 24th. Now here we are on the 12th. moving to second reading on the 26th, third reading on the 10th, and with an effective date of the 30th is the goal. Because one of the things that we've learned is over the years that, there's no such thing as a perfect ordinance. This ordinance is outstanding, certainly way better than the old ordinance. And we can't anticipate every scenario, but the one thing we can anticipate for sure is that the ordinance is written to reflect the public input that we received over the past 2 years from the thousands of people that have participated. We know that it's so much better than the existing ordinance. What we always tell people is, look, right now, all you have is this existing ordinance. There may be a few things, a few tweaks, a few, concerns to look at in the future. We talked about a code cleanup process, an ordinance cleanup, testing it, for some period of time after adoption. But at the end of the day, if it's adopted, the next day you're protected by the thousands of things that are in here that are in keeping with exactly what you want. And then you can tweak those few things that may need a little bit further discussion and further study in the future. So rather than holding it off, we go to some places and they take 5 years to adopt an ordinance. And in the meantime, the planning director calls me and says, what do? We just got this application for this new project and it's not in keeping with our comprehensive plan, our vision plan or whatever. And I say, all you can do is use it as a reason why you need to hurry up and adopt your ordinance because you're just unprotected until you get the new one in. And so those kind of stories are what makes me bullish on, kind of saying, hey guys, this it's really strong and it's so much further than where we've come from. So to wrap it up, we need to make sure that this is an ordinance that works for the community, but not just the community, but community first. I mean, that's what we've heard from the community. We've heard from all of you. We've heard from Planning Commission as well that the constituents really are who we're primarily concerned about. However, there's a lot more to it than that. It has to work for business. We just heard about an empty Walgreens, and so how do we make sure that we don't have those sorts of situations in the future? It needs to work for people at all stages of life. We have those preferences changing, as I showed you with all the flashy urban looking stuff, but we know that that's not for everybody. But a lot of times we hear about people wanting to downsize, and they're wanting to downsize into something that's more exciting, into the middle of things, instead of being off on the edge of town in some sort of a quiet, sleepy place with other people who are just the same age as them. So we want to have something for all stages of life. We want to have something that also works economically. Again, this is an economic development tool, not just a zoning ordinance, and I think that as we move forward with this, it's protecting all the things that we love, but it's protecting into the future. We work in communities. We get called in Carmel, Indiana, and they had their conventional suburban strip highway, their office park area, and they saw that they were losing their competitive edge because they were outperforming every other community in the region. And in fact, more people were commuting out to Carmel from Indianapolis than vice versa. And so they said, well, what do we do to make sure that we're not going to lose that edge, because we see that this kind of thing isn't as popular as it once was. And so figuring out ways to move forward. But at the end of the day, the most important thing, and the thing we've asked the community to time and time again to hold us accountable to, is that this ordinance is working for and representing the character and the essence of Franklin, not just what we did in New York or what we've done somewhere else. Because it's great that we get to work all over the place and see all kinds of places and new ideas and everything. But the risk is that we bring in something that's alien, and so we work really, really hard to understand out there measuring in the streets, that what makes every place that people love around here so special. So all the numbers and the metrics and the setbacks and heights and all of these things that you see in these documents, they weren't just like, oh, I think we should do this. It's because we went out and we saw, oh, here, this is what it is, and people love this. So let's have new development be more like that. Doesn't have to be a copy of it, but let's follow sort of the rules and the DNA of those places. And so we were that rigorous going through this process, and so the character is super important. So that's the end.
Okay, this is a public hearing, as I said, and the first speaker is Elizabeth Wanzak, followed by Debbie Henry, followed by Dirk Melton, and then followed by Alan Thompson. I'll give each person 2 minutes.
Good evening. Thank you, Board of Mayor and Aldermen, for the opportunity to speak before you all this evening. On behalf of the Housing Commission, I have submitted 2 letters in my position as chairman for your consideration regarding 2 motions that were passed unanimously by the commission concerning the Envision Franklin requirement of lots to be 45 feet and the requirement that accessory dwelling units be owner-occupied in the proposed updated zoning ordinance. The Housing Commission believes that the requirement of lots being limited to 45 feet hinders innovative ways that the City of Franklin can address the need for attainable and workforce housing, both by the for-profit and nonprofit sector, whether that be single-family home, townhome, condominium, or multifamily home. Envision Franklin desires a diverse and vibrant community. This provision handicaps that vision. With specific regard to the proposed requirement of accessory dwelling units being owner-occupied, the proposed zoning ordinance's concern about short-term rentals is particularly of interest to the Housing Commission, and through discussion, we want to emphasize that we are not trying to change the proposed requirement of short-term rentals to be owner-occupied. We sincerely appreciate your consideration of these concerns. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Debbie Henry, the Executive Director of the TMA Group Franklin Transit Authority, 708 Columbia Avenue, Franklin, Tennessee. And first of all, congratulations to each of you that were just sworn in. We appreciate your leadership and look forward to 4 more years. So, as operators and managers of our local public transit system here in Franklin, I wish to voice support of the City of Franklin zoning ordinance. As the City of Franklin grows, so grows Franklin's transit service. Approximately 20 months ago, we undertook, with the help and support of the City of Franklin, we changed and expanded our fixed route service into Cool Springs, which has proven to be a very positive decision. During that expansion process, it became very apparent that transit infrastructure requirement thresholds were needed. In addition, requirements on existing public transit routes, as well as those that are in the future, really, this was very important for those. Safety of our riders, the transit drivers, and the equipment, coupled with connected accessibility to transit stops, transit shelters, and transit service as a whole, is of paramount importance. The zoning ordinance before you is a progressive, detailed, and concise document, which from our perspective supports the necessary transit infrastructure requirements, which are truly needed to effectively plan, operate, and expand our Franklin transit system to meet the demands of our community. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Dirk Malton, and I'm a principal with Market Street Enterprises in Nashville. We're a locally based investment and development firm that does commercial real estate projects. I'm here tonight really just to compliment Emily Hunter and the planning staff and TPUDC on a very thoughtful, thorough process that has resulted in the zoning ordinances before you tonight. In 2017, when Envision Franklin was released, our firm was so encouraged by the thought and the vision behind that document that we decided to invest here in Franklin for the first time. And now we're working on a very exciting 50-acre mixed-use redevelopment in Bev Burgers District that will be before you soon. In the joint workshop in June, the direction from the planning ordinance was established. And as Brian mentioned, it has several different priorities that were to be considered. The one that I focused on the most and was really encouraged by was the idea that through the zoning ordinance, the city can enhance the long-term economic viability for the city. I think it's critically important as the Nashville metropolitan area looks to add 1 million new residents to this area in the next 20 years. A significant proportion of those new incoming residents will be choosing the City of Franklin to live, to work, and to have shopping and dining opportunities. We hope that our project will be a part of that solution through the new zoning ordinance. I've worked in a lot of jurisdictions around Middle Tennessee, and I have yet to see the level of public engagement, education, and awareness, and consensus building that has been present in the current process, thanks to the efforts of the Planning Department and TPUDC. We'll be before you shortly. We may be the first major project that is coming in before you under the new zoning ordinance. Please be gentle with us. In conclusion, we're very excited to be working in this community. We look forward to being a part of it and to make a lasting and positive impression in the built environment of downtown Franklin. Thank you very much.
Good evening, Mayor. Good evening, Alderman. Alan Thompson, 125 North Berwick Lane, Franklin, Tennessee. Very proud to be a resident I've been here since my high school years. That's many, many years ago. But I'm very proud of the fact that this city's always taken a proactive approach as opposed to a reactive approach. That is very refreshing. It is the only jurisdiction of all Middle Tennessee that I've worked in that I've seen do that. I believe Envision Franklin laid the foundation for a bold and prosperous future for the city of Franklin. And as opposed to running from what you know, the growth that's coming, it said, we'll embrace it. And if we're gonna grow, we're gonna do it on our terms. And I really want to commend that because it lays the foundation for the ordinance that you have before you tonight. And I really want to commend the process from Planapalooza to the open houses. Staff has done a great job reaching out to the community, reaching out to the professional community as well as the residential community. They've taken a lot of input, which has helped form this ordinance that you have. I wanted to commend the organization so much better than that of the previous ordinance. Communicates your vision so much better, and that's so important when you're coming in with that new project. And I wanted to commend the principles on which this ordinance is founded. It's a new approach, but I believe it's the right approach for the city of Franklin. It's going to develop over the next 20 years something that I think you're going to be very, very proud of, as well as I know you're very proud of today. I wanted to commend staff. You have the top staff in all of Middle Tennessee. I wanted to commend BOMA and the planning commissioners and all the work that y'all have put in, and you have to make the hard decisions and you have to pick up those phone calls. So I appreciate that. I would want you to know that I'm in full support of this and would hope that you would support that likewise. Thank you.
Late entry, Michelle Preston.
Thank you for allowing me to speak. Michelle Preston, 1973 New Highway 96 West. That is Animalia, which is my veterinary practice where we have approximately 50 employees. I applaud what you all have done with the new zoning ordinance and being proactive on that. I appreciate that. Obviously love Franklin, love being here, love being a part of the community. I know that you can't possibly look at every single thing when you're doing a broad zoning ordinance like this, but I do feel like maybe this was overlooked a little bit in that there is now a 300-foot setback on New Highway 96 West. And we are surrounded on West Haven by three sides. West Haven had a 300-foot setback from before they broke ground. That was part of the condition of their approval. My site is an old home site, was in the county, and we were annexed into the city a couple of years ago. My site, our building actually sets back only about 125, 150 feet. So I would be illegal in what I'm doing now. I have about 6 acres, had plans. Part of the reason for buying the site was to be able to grow. So I ask that you consider maybe on this starting at Boyd Mill Pike instead of, and that would eliminate the Animalia site from the 300-foot setback and allow us to continue to do good things. And I think that that if we do have a 300-foot setback, what we would have to develop would not be the best for the community. West Haven uses our backyard for some of their events. They'll have 1,500 people back there, and that would take that away from them as well. So I ask that you consider starting at Boyd Mill Pike, the 300-foot setback. Thank you.
Thank you. I declare the public hearing closed. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Appropriate motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Martin. Ready to vote?
Mr. Mayor, I think we'll probably get into amendments later, the next round probably, but as of tonight, I would like to go ahead and initiate that I'd like to propose an amendment on section 4.9.4, scenic corridor setbacks, where it relates to New Highway 96 West, and I do support it, starting at Boyd Mill Pike.
Second.
I'd like to make that amendment.
Second on the amendment.
Appropriate motion, appropriate amendment to the motion. The amendment is now open for discussion. Ready to vote on the amendment? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? The amendment passes. Now, ready to vote on is there any discussion on the motion as amended? Ready to vote? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously. Item 20, it's a public hearing, consideration initiating the annexation process, draft plan of services, resolution 2019-81 for the annexation of Ingraham and Stovall properties, 4099 and 4101 Clovercroft Road, and 4324 and 4326 Murfreesboro Road.
Good evening. We have had a request from the applicant. I'm not sure if they are here, but they have requested that this item be deferred until the February 11th, 2020 meeting.
Does anyone want to speak to this body? Seeing none, I declare the public hearing closed. We entertain a motion to defer this item till February the 11th. Is that correct?
Yes.
2020?
Move to defer.
Second.
Second. Appropriate motion and second. Any discussion? Ready to vote? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Passes unanimously. Item number 21, this is a public hearing. Consideration ordinance 2019-36, first quarter budget amendment. Does anyone want to speak to this body? I declare the public hearing closed. Is there a motion?
So move.
Seconded by Alderman Speedy. Any discussion? Ready to vote? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously. Item number 22, consideration ordinance 2019-34, an ordinance to rezone 22.07 acres from detached residential R1 to Pacific Residential SDR 2.03 for the property located north of South Carruthers Road and east of Surrey Lane at 4338 and 4340 South Carruthers Road, establishing a public hearing on December the 10th, 2019. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Seconded by Alderman Bransford. Any discussion? Ready to vote? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
Motion passes 7-1. Item 23, consideration of contract number 2019-0258, a cooperation agreement between the City of Franklin and Franklin Housing Authority for payment in lieu of taxes for projects renovated using low-income housing credits. Is there a motion?
Move for approval.
Appropriate motion.
Second.
Seconded by Alderman Blanton. Any discussion? Ready to vote? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously. Item number 24, consideration contract 2019-0311 with Community Housing Partnership for the receipt of community development block grant funds from the City of Franklin as reimbursement for costs associated with construction of single-family homes that benefit low to moderate income residents.
Move for approval.
Second.
Seconded by Alderman Berger. Any discussion? Ready to vote? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously. Item number 25, consideration ordinance 2019-29, an ordinance to rezone 6.22 acres from specific developmental residential SDR district to specific developmental residential 14.31 SDR 14.31 district for the property located north of Mallory Station Road and east of Sunrise Circle at 200 Mallory Station Road, Oakwood PUD subdivision, previously noticed as Mallory Station PUD subdivision. Is there a motion?
Move up again.
Appropriate motion.
Second.
Seconded by Alderman Barnhill. Any discussion? All ready to vote? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously. Item number 26, consideration City of Franklin contract 2019-0295 Parkland Impact Fee Agreement for Oak Brook PUD subdivision, or rather Oak Brook PUD between the City of Franklin and Thompson Thrift Development in the amount of $383,056.
Move approval.
Appropriate motion, second by Alderman Barnhill. Any discussion? Ready to vote? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously. Item 27, consideration of resolution 2019-113, a resolution authorizing the city administrator and city attorney to finalize the acquisitions of property located at 109 Battle Avenue and 111 Battle Avenue for the 100 block Battle Avenue drainage improvements.
Move for approval.
Appropriate motion.
Second.
Seconded by Alderman Speedy. Any discussion? Ready to vote? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Passes unanimously. Item number 28, consideration resolution 2019-97, a resolution authorizing the use of the competitive seal proposal procurement method for choosing suppliers and service providers for police promotional process assessment services and for liability, property, and workers' compensation insurance products and services and near-site clinic healthcare services, all for the Human Resources Department.
Move for approval.
Appropriate motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Alderman Bransford. Any discussion? Seeing none, ready to vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously. Item number 29, consideration procurement award to P&A Administrative Services, Inc. of Buffalo, New York, and a total fee of $3.20 per participating employee per month for health care and dependent care flexible spending account administrative services for a term of award for the Human Services Department. Is there a motion?
So move.
Appropriate motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Alderman Bransford. Any discussion? Ready to vote? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously. Are there any other items to come before the board? Ready for adjournment? I entertain a
So moved.
motion.
So moved.
Second.
Seconded by Alderman Barnhill. Ready to vote? All in favor say aye. Thank you.